Hello everyone and welcome back to week 1 of the PPL for D2 season 4? I think it's season 4. I can't even remember. But in this first week, we are fighting Ellie, or the Base Liquids on Twitter, and her Accrington Stantler. I can't say that name right ever, so I'm not even gonna bother most of the time. Links for all the coaches and all the D2 important stuff is in the description below. But as I said before, we're going to get right into the battle. So let's get started. Alright, so we got Ellie issuing the challenge. I am challenged by Pokemon Trainer Ellie. She's looking cool. She's going to lead out with her tassels, which is actually going to end up being the Tyranitar. So I'm leading off with my my Thundurus Incarnate, and here it could risk the chance of her being Choice Scarf, but I figured I'm just gonna go for the U-turn. She might get a Brox here, she might not get a Brox, and that does an absurd amount of damage for no real reason whatsoever. So it almost did half. So I decided just to go and pop a Roach because I can take pretty much any hit as long as it doesn't go for Fire Blast. And she actually decides to go for the Ancient Power, showing that she's probably special, and that does a lot, which shows to me that she has some special investment. She's going to decide to swap out and go into Intervention. I knew this was going to happen, but I figured I'll go for the Smart Strike. That's a neutral play. It'll do a decent amount of damage to this thing, and it gets a critical hit right here. So here, at this point, I know that I can take this thing out with another Smart Strike, but she might think she's scarfed, or she might think I'm scarfed and decide to swap into her Poliwrath, which, you know, she does. And I'm just going for the Smart Strike because I didn't really want that thing to roost. The faster I can get rid of that thing, the easier I have a chance to sweep her with Kartana. And Poliwrath is obviously bulky because it takes, I mean, it doesn't take it like a champ, but it still hurt it a lot. I can't really do anything since I'm Choice Scarfed against this. I'm just going to go into my Tapu Fini Spearhead with the Misty Surge and getting all types of lag up on my screen. And she's going to double out into Malignant, which is actually her Clefable, which this is fine for me because I wanted this matchup in the first place. I have speed investment so I can taunt this thing, so it can't do anything to me. I have Nature's Madness and I can whittle it down as low as possible, so even if it bothers to get up the Stealth Rocks, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go for that taunt. I'm going to taunt the Clefable. I think Oblivious is what prevents taunt. So she can't do Wish. The reveal she's a Wish passing set. She does not have leftover, so that means she could possibly be an offensive variant or a Z-move variant. I go for the Nature's Madness, and it's going to lower her down to half, or lower whatever half of her HP is still there. I don't think Surf would have mattered there. She might have thought I was going to go for Moonblast, but I don't think Surf would have killed anyways, so the Nature's Madness was still my best play. I decided to go straight out into Raikage, knowing she's probably going to roost, and I can almost one-shot this thing. I'm thinking that this thing is probably at least max HP at this point. Maybe max HP, max speed. It doesn't really need to be speed, but it can be bulky for Kartana, which I'm guessing. I go for the Focus Blast here, thinking Excadrill's gonna come in right. I can't let that thing do much to me, and she just, you know, stays in, predicts it like a fucking champ, and goes for the Super Fang, but misses. So, unfortunate side for her. She's been crit so far, and she's missed a Super Fang, so let's count the hacks later on. I don't say the hacks really matter all that much. I mean, they would have been nice for her. I go for the Thunderbolt thinking, you know, she's gonna stay in, maybe not. I should have just gone for the Focus Blast again. It probably would have missed, knowing me anyways. I'm gonna decide to go into R2-P2 Porygon, because I can take whatever hit. She actually goes for a Rock Slide, and it misses too, so awesome, I guess. Wouldn't have done much anyways. I go for the Foul Play because it can do a decent amount, and actually hurts this Crobat fairly like a lot. I do have Thunderbolt to hit this thing though, which is great for me. I don't mind Thunderbolt being able to wreck it, but I decided I'm just gonna swap out because she's probably gonna roost anyways. She actually goes for the taunt, probably trying to prevent me from recovering. If I had gone for the Thunderbolt, I don't think it would have killed, but it would have done at least half of what she had left. It was a losing battle for me anyways. She actually goes for Super Fang again, and it misses, and I'm like, okay, she's gonna swap out, I'm gonna U-turn, and if I had gone for the Thunderbolt, oh, it turns out we're actually speed tie, by the way. She did not pay attention to what her set was. I go into Kartana thinking, hey, at this range, I can probably take her out with the Psycho Cut, which is great for me, right? It's awesome for me. I go for the Psycho Cut right here, and she tells me she lived literally on 1. And she goes for the Brave Bird, and it does so much to Kartana. I mean, not enough to kill, obviously, because it's neutral, but she takes herself out there. So no kill for Kartana, fortunately. I would have had to swap out anyways if I wanted to sweep, regardless. Now, here, I need Kartana. Kartana's the only thing I have to outspeed the Alakazam, and it's the only thing I have to win. So I'm going to bring in Big Bubba the Dragonite, because that hasn't shown it once, and she actually goes for Thunderbolt, which I take fairly nicely. The Sandstorm damage, so this is where I'm dumb. When I got traded these Mons, I forgot to put the Steelium Z on this thing, so I couldn't go for the Steel move. It wouldn't have mattered anyways. This thing wouldn't have taken it like a champ, but it just, I fucked up there. I already had problems with getting these Mons genned anyways, so it was an issue. I decided to swap out because, you know, my Iron Tail is fucking gone now. I'm gonna go into Tapu Fini thinking that she probably can't hit me with all that much. I don't think it gets like a poison jab or anything, but she actually swaps out and goes into drilling it. Now, here, with the sand being up, I have a roll to kill this thing, which it doesn't really matter, because Tapu Fini can take pretty much 2 hits from anything it goes for. She goes for the Earthquake. I'm gonna take it like a champion, and no, just critting. She fucking crits me. And I live on 10 though, but pretty much I'm gonna go for the Surf, and it's like, okay, well, now Tapu Fini's dead because I don't have anything to swap into, to swap into this Excadrill, and it died to sand anyway, so I'm gonna go into the Big Bubba because it has the, this thing is probably Sand Rush. I'm thinking, oh, Extreme Speed will probably hurt it anyways. She actually just decides to swap out, knowing that she can use it to take me out later once Kartana's probably gone. I mean, she can take me out at any time with the sand being up if she's Sand Rush. So ow to the max. But this reveals that Poliwrath is actually defensive, like extremely defensive. Here I'm just gonna go into Porygon 2. I predicted the Ice Punch because I figured she'd have it anyways, but at the same time, even if this thing is fully defensive or max HP, it can't two-shot Porygon with the investment that I have. I'm gonna go for the Thunderbolt. I actually outspeed it this turn around, which is good. I'm thinking, hey, I can kill it if she doesn't have rest or anything. This will be great. And she goes for Circle Throw, and it brings me out into my Raikage, which I'm thinking, wow, this is unfortunate for her. Is she gonna swap out, or is it just gonna die? So I'm thinking, I'll go for the Focus Blast in case Excadrill decides to come in. And I miss it. It would have maybe killed from there. It wouldn't have changed anything. And I'm thinking, wow, she just got a really good rest off. I don't know if she predicted the hacks or just, you know, kind of fucked my ass there. But now I'm thinking, wow, she's going to swap out into Excadrill, predicting the Thunderbolt because it'll one-shot this thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. What do I do now? She didn't swap out. I guess I'll go back into Porygon. And I kind of get lucky here with hacks because she goes for, she's actually Rest, Sleep Talk with Circle Throw and Ice Punch. And she gets Rest the first turn, which is good. I know that's a big annoying thing. Now, I'm gonna go for the Thunderbolt. She is actually faster than me, so it turns out Porygon and Poliwrath are speed tied. I don't know if she had enough speed to speed creep or they just naturally speed tie. I wasn't paying attention. She actually gets lucky and gets a circle throw here. So she's just kind of juggling me around. She brings me out into Big Bubba, and I'm like, okay, well, she's going to wake up this turn anyways. I can't one-shot this thing. Why let Big Bubba die? I'm going to go back out into Porygon, and she's probably going to go for the Ice Punch, because I know she's paying attention to this. I don't have Wild Charge on Arcanine, so I know I can't really take it, and I know I can take any hit from this thing. As long as I can get a recover off, I know the speed tie is in our favor, but I actually get lucky here and get the speed tie. There's a lot of weird fucking speed ties and random hacks in this game that didn't matter, and I really need Porygon around just to be able to take a few hits from the Excadrill, which is nice. And now I'm thinking, okay, well, she's just leaving this thing in anyways. I'm just going to straight up go for the Thunderbolt, and it's going to one-shot regardless. And I love that I one-shot this thing. But it's just like, okay, well, ouch. Ow to the maximum. Goodbye, Poliwrath. I was going to call it Poliwag. Now she brings in Alakazam, and I'm thinking, well, this thing is probably sashed anyways. I'm going to go into Arcanine and take a single hit, go for an extreme speed, and get rid of its sash, which is going to be great for me because she goes for the Psychic here, and it does just a little bit over half, and with the leftovers, it's still not going to be enough to kill me. It could have been a roll. Oh my lord, I need to take out the trash. She actually swaps out here and goes into Tassels for her Tyranitar, which, you know, is fine, but it gives her a chance to get the sand up. And I'm like, okay, well, I revealed extreme speed now. She's not going to worry about it. I do have the close combat, and even if she has Chople Berry, as long as she's, like, not max HP, max defense, I should kill this thing from here. Because close combat will do a decent amount. She decides to swap out, predicting that I would have the close combat, and goes into her Clefable. And close combat does a decent amount of damage. You know, for being a resisted hit. I'm thinking, okay, what's she gonna do now? Sand is gonna buffer her. It's gonna buffer me too. She doesn't have, she has Wish, but is that really gonna be enough to handle it? I'm thinking, wow, at this range, I can probably just take her out with Flare Blitzes from here. That'll be good for me, right? Go for the Flare Blitz, and it's gonna do a decent amount of damage. I'm not gonna die to recoil. The sand damage is going to hurt her a lot. I'm pretty sure. Here, she fucking reveals her Z move. And I was wondering what it was because it wasn't leftovers. So she actually has Z Cosmic Power. And it boosts her defense by a lot. And would have probably worked. She might have been able to get a Wish off, lived it, and then protected. She has like Wish, Protect, Cosmic Power, and probably something like Moonblast. But with the Sandstorm up, it gives me just enough to take it out with another Flare Blitz. I mean, I guess I probably could have, you know, I wouldn't have been able to stall her out. But if she kept going for Cosmic Powers, it still would have been a super big issue. But luckily enough, she did have the sand up, so swapping it in with the Tyranitar might have been a little bit bad for her. She probably could have just gone into Clefable in the first place. She didn't really need to go into Tyranitar at that point. And now I'm thinking, well, she's probably just going to go into Tyranitar or Alakazam. And this is perfect because I get to go for the extreme speed and break the sash. And it will allow me, from this point on, after Arcanine dies, to just go into Kartana. And at this point, I'm still thinking she's Sandstorm. So she gets one more chance to set up Sandstorm. And it's gonna be an issue. I am Scarfed, so I am gonna outspeed this thing. I was gonna take it out anyways, but the fear of the Focus Sash was real. I get the Beast Boost off, so no matter what item this Tyranitar is, it's probably gonna die to a Leaf Blade, even if it's the I think it's not Heavy a Berry. Whatever the berry is to protect from grass types. I can't remember its name at the moment. I go for the Leaf Blade. It's going to take her out. It's going to bring the sand in. I'm thinking, well, if she has Sandrush Excadrill, what she can do is just straight up go for Earthquake here. I mean, she'll lose either way, unless she's like Life Orb, but it turns out she's not Sand Rush. She told me afterwards she was actually, I think, Choice Scarfed Sand Force. So we actually take that game 4-0, surprisingly. I don't know why she didn't bring Sand Force. Sand Force kind of wrecked me, and I was so happy the Conkeldurr was not there. Conkeldurr not being there made the game so much easier for me. Conkeldurr just teared through my team. It's the only reason I brought Defensive Arcanine, which I just ended up sacking anyways, because I'm thinking, well, I just need to get the extreme speed off, and it's kind of all that matters. Clefable wouldn't have appreciated 2 Leaf Blades, and swapping into it just wouldn't have been an issue. If she brought it in, though, if she had, I was thinking if she had brought in Clefable at the point right after the Tyranitar thing and not set up Sand, she probably could have maybe destroyed my butthole with the Z Cosmic Power. But yeah, she got hacked out a lot. Not super bad, but those Super Fangs kind of did matter. The Rock Slide not so much, and the rest on the first turn was a problem. But I'd say that's a pretty good game for my first game of this season. I mean, last season it didn't start out too well. The season before it didn't start out well at all, with 2 5-0s in a row. But with that, guys, I'd like to thank you for watching. As always, stay awesome, keep playing Pokemon, and I will see you next week with more PPL content.